Ryder Smith leads an unprecedented top 4 sweep for Hamilton Autosports for his 3rd career pole. On his outside is his car owner, Sean Angel. 34th round of the championship, the Launch Energy Elite Series heads to a brand new track, both on the schedule and in general. The Denver Speedway is a brand new state-of-the-art facility that was completed just last year. The Speedway is a big, wide track that will work for some exciting racing. The USSCA is looking to add a race looking to race here next year in 2019. However, we'll not be running the oval today. Today we'll be racing at the infield road course here for the Furniture Roval 200K. It's a very tricky circuit. Pretty wide though. It will certainly work well for some exciting battles out on the racetrack. There could be some chaos though, especially in that very tight final chicane. However, speaking of chaos, one of the big stories is that there was no chaos to speak of this entire weekend. In a major contrast to last week, for the first time this season, nobody went to the rear. Practice went without a hitch, and all cars passed post-qualifying inspection. Good to see that happen. Though Jack Benton did have some engine problems in his qualifying run, so he did not set a good time, but no backups. The other major thing is that Hamilton Autosports has been extremely dominant all weekend long, showing an unprecedented amount of pace. Their 4 cars swept both practice and qualifying. Yes, they swept the top 4 spots in both sessions. Hamilton Autosports is a very strong team, dominated the championship last year, and even by their standards, this is insane. No team has ever swept the first 2 rows in qualifying before, but now they have. Could they possibly sweep the top 4 in the race? Or could they still at least get a 1-2-3? That's never been heard of either. Well, we'll see. A lot of teams are hungry to try and knock them off, so I think we're gonna be seeing some great battles out here as we see if anybody can stop the Hamilton team here as we get down to the track for the Furniture Roval 200K. It's a bright, sunny day out here in Denver, perfect for some nice hot racing action. Here at the Denver Roval, the Furniture Roval 200K. Hamilton's all in the first 2 rows. Ryder Smith and Sean Angel lead us down. Does anybody have a challenge for this top team? We're about to find out. Pace cars down. We head down the front straight, looking for that green flag, and there it is. We're rocking in Denver. Field begins its run down the turn 1 of the road course. The speedway is a big, wide track. You don't you're allowed to go below that white line. There's no track limits there, so we're gonna see people going everywhere. And there we go. Matt Duncan makes it 4 wide. Very aggressive move out of the 6, and he gets into his teammate. Little bit of contact there. Very risky move. Beating and banging down into the hairpin. But they make it work. It's an incredibly aggressive move out of Matt Duncan. But they keeps it straight. Phyllis Fedor gets out of the initial land rush with the lead of the race. Smith the dive bomb. He wants the lead back. It is rush hour here on the start. Cars jockeying for position all over the circuit. Hamilton does get away 1-2-3. Fedor, I don't think she's able to hold that lead. Ryder Smith dives it back down, and he does indeed retake that top spot. And here we turn back onto the speedway. Fedor once again trying to get the run on the 18. Watch everyone back there. It is a clean start. We expected chaos, but they've managed to keep it clean. And this is gonna be a very interesting part of the circuit. This chicane right here, very tight. A lot of potential for passes, but also could be a major trouble spot. But they get through it without any problems. Oh wait, no! Abdel Jabri goes for a slide, but he seems like he's kept it nice and clean for no damage on that 90 car. It looks like just a little bit of a slide. Ryder Smith leads the first lap, and now it's Tyler Faber on his outside. Oh, we might see a crossover out of the 11. Yes, we will. Faber forces it into turn number 1. It's gonna be a little bit tight. He forces the 18 wide. It's a clean pass though. No contact. Oh, Krieger gets into the 20 a little bit. That could have spelled trouble. Being very pushy here at the front of the field. Meanwhile, Sean Angel, after a bit of a lackluster start, trying to work his way back up, dives underneath Polyakov. And now he gets on the bumper of Ray Krieger. Eugene DeMax, the rookie, in his second career start, he had a fantastic start to this one. Lap 1 was very kind to the 4 car. It looks like he's currently in P7. Looking on Nico Polyakov, he might be able to make something happen. Looks like he may be one to keep an eye on. I mean, this is the type of racing that DeMax is great at. DeMax won the Super GT Championship last year by a landslide, and while he didn't have any stock car experience, that road course talent made Audi want to take a chance on him, on the South Korean, and perhaps it could pay off. Side by side, Furuta chicane, Fedor versus Krieger. A little bit of contact between Finn Guy and Duncan. They keep it straight. And no problems for the field. I was like, oh, Allie Nelson's really on the move. Nelson started a bit down the order, had a lackluster run in qualifying. She's already in the top 20, showing a lot of pace early on. I think Duncan just sent Louvier a little wide. Here's the Manson teammates doing battle. Finger may have no, not yet. Right now it is Faber and Smith running first and second. Collins under fire from Marco Rossi. Collins has not had a great start. Marco Rossi's an interesting case. This is interesting to look at. This is his first start of the year for Dodge Motorsports, and is his first time out in the Gen 2 car. But the thing is, he's not as unfamiliar with this kind of car as you'd think. The Generation 2 LES car closely resembles the cars that are used in the Vodafone Euro series. And that's a series where Rossi's won 2 championships. That could be big for him because this car, a lot more in his wheelhouse. He might be able to do some great things with it. Oh, got a car in the pits. Chris Argus Smith for Sean McLaughlin Racing is in the garage area, and it looks like there's some damage on it. Before we do that, here's also a quick replay of what happened at the end of lap 1. Got Abdel Jabri here. Watch an 84 car of Jack Benton. He hops the curb a little bit in the chicane, and that causes him to move over into the 90. They make contact. He goes for a little bit of a slide, but no real damage, just a little bit of a time loss. Jabri, it's still early, so it's early in this one, so Jabri still has plenty of time to make that up. And now here's what happened to Chris Argus Smith. He was racing side by side of Rio Lucas. Then William Brock swings it wide, gets into 56, goes down into Smith, and they just go off into the tires, and they both get stuck, and they have to get towed. Tough break for both of them. As we go back to live racing, it is still Tyler Faber in the lead. We are hearing that that the incident with William Brock and Chris Argus Smith will be under investigation. They may be giving the 19 a time penalty because ISCC thinks that was overly aggressive, so we might hear from that later. Meanwhile, here's some battling action here. Right outside the top 10. 3 wide between Rossi and Collins and Acosta. Ryan Acosta did not have a good qualifying run. Really, none of the S3 cars did. S3 just not really looking that good this week. Oh, Atwood way off the track. Atwood's also been looking, and actually, he's also another guy who's been looking a little bit off. Atwood usually great on these road courses. Perhaps this one does not fit his driving style too well. Yeah, Atwood's definitely been a little bit off. He was the lowest qualifying of the Wrecking Balls cars. Though, now that I look at the leaderboard, he's actually ahead of Chan, who must have had a miserable start. We did not catch that. Yeah, that's a bit interesting. Oh, 00 way wide. He got very loose there. That is the 00 part-time car for Ian Masterson Racing. Seiji Nakajima behind the wheel, making his first start of the year. And And of course, he's a Mazda development driver. Ian Masterson Racing has been struggling a little bit this week, but it's good to see him get his first start. And here's Rio Lucas. Tauja Racing actually looking a little better than usual this week. Lucas actually managed P5 in practice. It's a very impressive outing for the 56. And, well, he's fallen back a little bit right now. He's currently running in 31st. But he honestly could get back into the points. His teammate Asher Tanzona is in the points at the moment. Currently in, I believe, 27th. So this could be a good race for TRU. They've actually got some stuff going. Rossi and Kirby going head-to-head for position here. We'll see if Rossi can hold it around the outside. That's going to be a hard one. Yeah, he goes off into the grass and scoping himself up for Collins. It's a pretty typical aggression there from Marco Rossi. Yeah, still pretty straightforward out in the front. Faber and Smith have broken away. No surprise there with how quick Hamilton's been this week. Hamilton's been pretty dominant, but they've never been this dominant. It's insane just seeing how quick those cars have been. Contact in the back. Manson and Rahal in trouble. I saw those two cars getting very close to each other last lap, and we're gonna take a look at that. Trouble striking for the free team again. They've had a lot of problems. It's been a very rough start to the season for them. Well, here's a replay. Like I said, Ryan Manson, Roman Rahal, they've been racing each other pretty hard. Rahal goes wide in the chicane. Manson sees an opening, just dives it in. They get together. Rahal manages to save the car, but not Manson. He loses the back end and kisses that safer barrier, and that's going to cost him a lot of time. Tough break for him, but that was a very over-aggressive move, and it cost him. Well, take a look at this. Paul Polyakov challenging Fyodor, but Eugene DeMax, the rookie, going for P6 on Sean Angel. He's keeping, not only is he keeping the pace, but he's looking faster than the guys in front of him. This is a very impressive performance. Yeah, he's got the 4th fastest lap of the race so far. The Korean really have a strong run at the moment. And also, hopefully he can get a good finish. That 14 needs owner's points right now. The cutoff to start using the current year's owner's points will be after the next round at Remembrance Field. So that 14 needs a good run, and DeMax doing everything in his power to get it as he cuts through Phyllis Fyodor. That's going to put the 4 car in the top 5. Oh, I don't think Angel's done with him, though. A little bit of a dive there from Angel. Try to regain the spot. Another person to keep in mind, though, I mentioned Polyakov. He really likes these Roval type racetracks, the infield road courses. He's great on these types of circuits, and of course, he has great success at the Jonesboro Roval. Last year, he got his first and so far only LES victory there, and then this season he finished 2nd at the same racetrack. Yeah, he's definitely so. Watch out for his 48. He could be one to challenge the leaders. Battle continues to rage on. Angel gonna get DeMax back here with a dive. Fyodor might try to make it 3 wide. Okay, she backs out of that. She thinks better of that move. That probably wouldn't have went too well. I think Angel, he's clear. He's clear for now. But DeMax tries to find an opening. They keep that going, and Angel holds them off. We haven't really talked about Roman Rahal much. Give him a little mention with it, when he had that run into Ryan Manson. But he is a very interesting story. Roman Rahal hasn't started an LES race since 2015. He ran the first running of the Sony 400. Actually had a great showing, finished 11th. But he didn't attempt another race until last year when Buick gave him a call after Jason Evans left the Buick racing team. Tried to get the 79 car into the show at Auto Club, couldn't do it. But the team had faith in him. They put him in a part-time role. They made him the PT Cup driver for the team this year, and had a few failed attempts, a few DNQs early in the season, but he's made the race here, and he's having a pretty impressive outing, currently in the points. That Buick still struggling a little bit on pace, so it's great to see a young talent like Rahal performing in that underdeveloped equipment. This is definitely the most speed Faber's shown so far. He's actually pulling the gap on Ryder Smith. He's been very quiet so far this year. He's finishing the top 20 every race, but no top 10 finishes to his name. He's just been very quiet, but he's definitely coming alive a little bit this racetrack. Smith's gonna be trying to catch him though. Second round. Oh, Theodore spun! Theodore off the track. I think Chris Louvier got into her. And that is a heartbreak for Phyllis Theodore, who is looking so good. Doesn't look like there's any damage on the 20, but she is going to fall all the way out of the top 20. That is rough. Well, here's a replay of what happened. We're gonna watch Chris Louvier here from the spectator cam. He's closing on Phyllis Theodore, and he makes a very opportunistic dive bomb, very aggressive move, just gets into Theodore and spins her out. That was way too aggressive from just diving from that far back, and unsurprisingly, the ISCC is going to be slapping him for a 10-second time penalty. Yeah, things definitely looking very, very interesting right now. 2 cars have gotten time penalties now. Louvier's gotten one, and did forget to report it earlier, but William did forget to report it, but ISCC did decide to give William Brock a 10-second time penalty as well. So that's 2 cars of time penalties. Could be very interesting for this race as we go on. Atwood may be starting to find his footing. He's working his way up the order. He just made a move for 13th. So we might start to see some progress from Atwood this race. And dives it in, passes Finn Guy, last week's winner, and that'll be for 12th. No, I don't think he's gonna make that move stick. Meanwhile, Ryan Acosta try and get in the top 10. I think Alyssa Kirby actually has gotten a top 10, and that would be a much-needed run for her. As the 90 team, a bit low down in the standings at the moment, so Kirby needs a good run to make sure they stay in the owner's points. There's certainly been a lot of high expectations placed on the rookie. Oh, speaking of rookies, got a car far behind. Real Lucas, I think, may have gone for a spin. There may have been an incident involving car number 56 because he was running in the top 30 not that long ago. We'll go and check on that in a minute. More over-aggressive driving here. Look at this. Ryan Manson does the exact same thing he did to Rahal. Lucas goes wide in the chicane. Manson dives it in. Lucas, trying to regain the car, goes back on track, and this time he just spins Lucas around. And that is heartbreaking for Lucas. They were looking so good, and now they got some damage on that car, and perhaps unsurprisingly, he just did that move twice. They didn't penalize him earlier, but now seeing he's done it twice, the ISCC will be giving Ryan Manson a 15-second time penalty. 3rd time penalty of the race. Drivers being very aggressive. Faber pulled out a monster of a lap last time. He really pulled away from Smith. So the gap's now grown to 2 seconds over P2. I wonder, could this be Tyler Faber's day to return to victory lane? There's certainly been a lot of questions about Faber's performance. Definitely speculation that if he does not improve this year, it could be his last season at Hamilton. His performance just has not been there compared to his teammates. He definitely looks a bit off in comparison to them. But hey, this could be his day to prove all the doubters wrong by taking a win. His last win came in 2016. He scored 2 wins that year. And so far, those are the only 2 wins of his career. Last time out was the dirt track at Buffalo Downs. So yeah, he's generally been a short tracker for a lot, but he does have some road course expertise, showing that off. It looks like Charles Sanford and Allie Nelson are starting to make more progress through the field. Sanford is currently up to 15th, while Nelson is now 16th. They've gotten past Marco Rossi, who's slipping back a little bit. James Shelley also falling back, but he's never really been he's never really prided himself as a road ringer, so it wasn't really surprising. He was the best qualifier out of the Dodge Motorsports cars, but yeah, just doesn't really have the same race pace. DJ Curtis has been in the midfield for a lot of this race. Definitely just had a quiet day so far. Ryan Manson currently in 31st, though that isn't 100% accurate because of the time penalty. Right now, some of the cars in points. Jason Perkle's last car in the points. Madeline Adkins running in 29th, and Benoit Lefebvre-Veen making his series debut currently in 28th. Certainly, those guys looking to keep going there. Madeline Adkins really needs a solid run today in order to keep herself in owner's points. She is in the top 30 at the moment, but she's not been very consistent making races, as she did miss. She DNQ'd the opener and the third round in Maxwell Center last week. So yeah, she's just been kind of inconsistent. So she needs to take this opportunity to score some good points. So we may have another battle on our hands here for P10. I think Ryan Acosta and Alyssa Kirby looking to go head-to-head. This is a good section for the S3 car. Obviously S3 Motorsports cars, they're always good in a straight line. He's able to get a bit of a slipstream on her. We'll see if he can get the better run in the chicane. Costa cuts down a little bit. Doesn't really get the traction, and they kind of just stay put, but they might be close enough to make something happen. Meanwhile, Angel and Polyakov looking to do battle for position there. They've certainly swapped P4 a lot to this race. Definitely fighting hard for that position, so they can have whatever track position they can get so they can have whatever track position they can get for when we get to pit stops, which should be soon. We're probably like a little over halfway to the pit window. Pit window is somewhere in the lap 20 range or so. That's probably what I would say is the pit window. Yeah, pit delta definitely very important to keep in mind, as is the case of any road course race, strategy can make or break your race. And Sanford's made more progress. He's now past Finn Guy for 14th. Yeah, S3 slowly climbing through the order. Like the lower two cars climbing through, and Polyakov having a great performance in the top 5. This could be Polyakov's breakout year. He's just done some great stuff this season. So, he's done some great stuff so far. Didn't have the day he was looking for in the Maxwell Center, but just overall he's been having a good run of things. Polyakov and Krieger were probably the two drivers that had high expectations and didn't really meet them last year. Of course, Polyakov did start 2017 on a high note with a win in the season opener, and he kind of fell off in the second half, so that will be something we need to watch. Oh, a little bit of contact between Bruno gave Chan the bump. Meanwhile, Phyllis Fedor trying to make progress. She needs to work her way back up the order after all the ground she lost. And she's probably under a lot of pressure. Finn Guy, I wonder if something's wrong with his car. I think the handling's just kind of gone away, because he's now lost a position to Kyle Collins, though Collins has also lost a position to Sanford, who's still making progress. As you saw a little bit ago, Kirby's made a move for P9, so she's making progress. All the Mavericks in the top 10, which is not a very common occurrence. Mavericks definitely, as a unit, has been struggling a little bit over the last few years. Faber still pulling away. He pulled away by about half a second over Ryder Smith. Man, this is maybe the fastest we've ever seen Tyler Faber. Outside of a short track, anyway. Yeah, he's really strong at the moment. But of course, pit stops could change everything. Oh, I see some debris! Ray Krieger's got a problem! Of course, I jinked. That's the commentator's curse. Something is wrong with the 17 of Ray Krieger, and it's a pretty bad problem. It might be Yeah, that's a pretty serious problem. He's got to bring the car to a stop. And that is just heartbreaking for Ray Krieger. More bad luck for that 17 team. He's having issues. He's had a lot of issues these last 3 weeks, and the last couple of weeks he's had a lot of issues, and that's not going to help him. Now we're looking at a replay here to see the cause of the debris, and it really is just a heartbreak here. Ray Krieger running P3 had a great day going, and then something breaks in that car, loses speed, and we're watching him here. And, oh, yeah, that's the cause of the debris. Nico Polyakov grazed the 17, and I'm sure that didn't help what was going on at the 17. But now I have to wonder what's going to be going on at the 48. Is that going to affect him? Is there any visible damage? It doesn't look like it, but we'll have to keep an eye on the Russian as we go on in the race. And well, we just caught Roman Rahal in the pits. He just made a pit stop. And I believe that's scheduled. I think Roman Rahal is short pitting, which means, well, we may be approaching scheduled pit stop soon. Keep an eye. Teams may start thinking about when they want to come down. Of course, they probably will want to. At least make it to lap 17 before I consider pitting. I think lap 18 is when a lot of guys may pit as well. I think the lap 18 to 20 range is probably the delta. So we're approaching that point. That's going to be the make it or break it point of this race. Man, Hamilton's just so strong. With Krieger's mechanical trouble, that puts Hamilton in a 1-2-3 position, which I don't believe has ever happened before. If a team could finish 1-2-3, that would be unprecedented. Certainly never had a team go 1-2-3-4 in both practice and qualifying. So this would be completely unprecedented. Ryan Manson passing some cars, but don't forget, he's got a 15-second time penalty, so that would probably actually put... So with everything going on, I think that would put Jason Evans in the final points position, because Aiden Shepard just took 30th on track, but he's actually 29th because of Ryan Manson. That, something to think about there. So we'll be watching a lot of the guys at the time penalties. We have to keep an eye here on Louvier. Louvier currently, with his time penalty, I think he would be 22nd right now. So he definitely would need to pick up the pace a little bit. Faber gonna come in this time? No. Top three all staying out. Nothing there. Ooh, Polyakov a bit wide, and we got a car in. Matt Duncan going for the undercut. That should be a scheduled stop, and I think that is going to probably kick off the green flag cycle, but doesn't look like anyone's going to join him. I think that's just going to be a bit of a risky strategy call out of Matt Duncan, but I mean his crew chief is Brendan Patterson, a veteran of the sport. It's not surprising that today he was William Duncan's crew chief until he retired from full-time driving, and then he moved over to the 6 team. Moved over to the 6 team last year with Matt Duncan. And they've definitely Patterson definitely known for trying some unorthodox things, taking risks. Certainly, we'll see if that works out. Meanwhile, Eugene DeMax just passed Polyakov. That 4 car is in P4 at the moment. This is an outstanding performance from Eugene DeMax. Like, if he finished here, even if he DNQ'd Remembrance Field, he would probably be good to go on the owner's points front. That would just be an amazing result, especially for a young driver who's only making his second career start. Tyler Faber, I think, is not in, but Sean Angel is. And here we go. Here comes the masses. A land rush of drivers coming up pit road. And Maxwell Chan didn't stay out. I honestly thought he was going to make that call. But it looks like the majority of the field is coming down. It doesn't look like a lot of people are making that risky call to stay out, just some of the leaders. Faber stayed out, Smith stayed out, and so did DeMax and Shelley, and that's it. Refuel, and that's... They need to get this right. It's the most important part of the race. Hamilton's are in, DeMax is in. And then there's Shelley. He will likely be joining them as well. Yes, he does. Cavagnaro definitely lost some spots. Jason Perkle lost positions in the pit lane. I think they lost a lot in Jonesboro too, so I think Van Dalen's pit crew is just not that good. They probably either need to train their pit crew, or train some pit crew members, or maybe try to find something else. Oh, the teammates fighting for position! They make contact! Matt Duncan getting very feisty with his teammate, and that almost ended in tears for Maverick. Like, William Duncan probably that probably made William Duncan just sweat on the box. Oh man. I will say though, it looks like it seems like that's worked out really well for Maverick. In the pits, Duncan sends it in again. Man, he is being very aggressive. Definitely not being a team player. He has 100 position. I heard a car spin. It's Finn Guy. Trouble for the 92. Same corner that Phyllis Theodore went around in. And somebody else has fallen victim to that hairpin, and I wonder if he got a little help. Or keep an eye on the Mavericks because they are still fighting hard. Duncan might get a position here, but Kirby's probably not going to give him a break. Not the way he's been fighting her. Say the least, there's definitely no team orders going on at Maverick this race. Though there is speculation that there could have been team orders last race when Ray Krieger Ray Krieger went up on a restart and passed Jeffrey Finguy to slow him up. The speculation is that he was to slow him up and help out Matt Duncan. It didn't really work out in their favor. But that is the speculation. But it seems today is definitely a bit different, because these two have been fighting so hard. That time Kirby runs a bit wide in the chicane, and that will give the position to Matt Duncan. Meanwhile, up front, Faber still in the way, Smith second. It's a little closer now, though. Angel and Poyakov are closer to the 18, and Chris Louvier is up to P5. It's looking great right now. But anyway, we probably should go and take a look at what happened to Jeffrey Finguy. Oh, we got some more battling. Acosta and Collins now entering the fight. They may have made some good adjustments. Their car's gonna be running a lot better now. Right, yeah, let's get that replay before we get carried away. Second verse, same as the first. This is a very similar incident as to what happened to Fedor. Marco Rossi moves over, dive bombs. That may have actually been even further back than Louvier when he got into Fedor, and there goes Finguy. Marco Rossi does have a reputation for aggressive driving, and he just showed it there. Finguy is definitely not going to be happy with the Italian, and leader is the ISCC, as Rossi will be yet another driver to receive a 10-second time penalty. And we also got reported more trouble for Shell United, as DJ Curtis had to come back down pit road. Curtis reported there was a tire going down, they had to come back in, and that is a tough break for the 78 team. This top four is really starting to condense a little bit. It looks like Tyler Faber's gap has basically been cut in half. Of course, Angel and Poyakov are closer into those top guys as well. With everything tightening up a little bit. See, as we're starting to see some action. Look at this! Theodore all over the 9 of James Shelley. Yeah, it's crunch time. Drivers starting to get a little more aggressive as they push for overtakes. Make up whatever ground they can. Yeah, it is going to be a mad dash to the front. Alright, let's watch the gap here. It's crazy that it's still a Hamilton 1-2 free. They are still leading the way. Like, this team is doing so good right now. Up, Smith's closing in. Smith is indeed closing the gap. Either the 11 team might have made a bad adjustment, or the 18 is starting to click. I mean, I would expect nothing less out of the 18 team, because of course that is your reigning champion. Ryder Smith hasn't had the luck that Ryder Smith had some terrible luck to start off the year. He had only really scored. He hadn't scored a lot of points at all. 1 point in Arkansas, in Jonesboro after getting into trouble. No points in Atlanta after a mechanical failure. He was looking at a great finish, in the Maxwell Center until he had a mechanical failure on the last lap, got spun around. Still got points. He was counted in P12 in the official results, but still, just a ton of bad luck for this 18 team. They're actually at risk of losing owners points, though I think Maxwell Center did put them in the top 30. But they really need a good run to get back in the mix, especially if the Scotsman wants to defend his driver's championship. And I say, perhaps this could be his day. He just looks really good. Of course, the whole Hamilton team does. But today in particular, he's looking a bit scary. We're now approaching 10 to go. Is he gonna close in again this time? Yes, he is. Nutter cuts the gap by another 3/10. Phyllis Fedor has found her footing too. She's starting to cut through the field. 20 car looking very fast. Up to P16 now. And Maxwell Chan, he's fixed his problems. The 41's very fast. Look at him go by the 31 there. Past Dick Pericles like he was sleeping. May not be game over for them yet. Battle for the top 10 between Atwood and Collins. I think Collins will be able to hold him off for now. The teammates still fighting as Ryan Acosta is now up to P7. Meanwhile, look at that 96. Allie Nelson on the move. She is so fast right now. They've definitely started to click, and this 96 has been probably the biggest mover of the race. She's now up to P12 and is still charging forward. Very wide line in the final chicane for Faber. He's going to catch lap traffic here in a minute. Going to catch the 51 of Chris Smith. Look at all that time Smith gained. Yep, this is the Ryder Smith we know. This is the reigning world champion Ryder Smith. He's gotten the gap within a second. He's almost in slipstreaming range. The moment he gets in slipstream range, there is going to be a war between those guys. And he's going to lose even more time here, like Faber will, because he's got to deal with Vargas Smith, and he could not get by him there. That's more time lost to the 18. Pressure really starting to mount as Smith shows his talent, putting pressure on his teammate. Angel beginning to slip away from those guys. A quick look through the field. I think Aiden Shepard's also found his footing after struggling for most of the race. Last driver in the points right now, because of his time penalty for Ryan Manson, it would be Jason Perkle. Perkle being P30 at the moment. Oh! Faber into the grass, goes very wide! Ryder Smith is there! Faber finally gets past the 51 now, but look at all that ground he's lost. Had some issues. Ooh, bit of a dive from Ryder Smith. He wants to get by him immediately. He pushes him. There was definitely contact. Smith wasting no time saying, hey, I'm here, move over. Hopefully he doesn't get a Cosmic Nova-like disdain for lap traffic, but that seems to be all he did. Argus 15 really hold him up. Smith is just... It was more Ryder Smith just forcing the issue, not wanting to lose any time whatsoever, and he is there. He's in striking distance. Faber went wide again. Dive bomb out of the 18. Can't make anything happen yet. But he is there. He could absolutely make a move here. He's going to wait behind him right now. Ugh, he's going to try something here. Cuts low on the 11. He is right on Tyler Faber's bumper. Oh, look. Feinted right. Over to the left. They'll be side by side heading onto the speedway. Doesn't quite get the momentum he needs. Faber of the better traction. Holds on for now. Going to be 9 laps to go this time by. Smith might try to make a move in the chicane. He's been very aggressive. Just pushing forward. They both go wide. So nothing doing. Oh, Nick Pericles still falling back. I wonder if there's... I have to learn something wrong! Braden Wood around! He just spun by himself! That is a costly mistake for the driver of the 32! Shell United is just not having a good day. Oh, well, get a look at that. You know, Jason Perkles looking to attack the 3. I think Krieger gave Seiji Nakajima a bump. He's getting very impatient. That could have been trouble. But Brandon Wood going for a spin. Well, let's see what happened here. Nick Pericles, he's been falling back, and he tries to make a move here to defend his position. Sends it in. They barely avoid contact, but Wood reacts. He has to react fast, and he loses the back end of the car and goes for a spin, into the grass. And that is a tough break for him, and it's just generally been a rough day for Shell United, but I suppose not all of them can be winners. Forcing him to use some of the non-optimal lines. So let's see if Smith's going to try anything here. Once again, feints right, goes to the left. Same move as last time. And I think they're the same deal. Yeah, I think Smith lost the back end a little bit there. And we're going to watch them in the chicane. And again, they both go wide. Or, not really, actually. Oh, those two did go wide. For sure. Seeing some mistakes. Oh, Duncan and Kirby. Round 2 there. Oh, not quite. Ooh, Chan goes a little wide. Theodore gets into him. Maxwell Chan into the wall. And that car is smoking. That, I think, may be the end of his race. And that is a tough break for Maxwell Chan. He's looking much better than he was in the first half of the race, but it looks like he'll be the end of the day for car number 41. Okay, so here is a replay. You're going to see Maxwell Chan go, pushes it wide in the chicane. Theodore tries to force it in too, and she also gets tight. See, Chan loses the back end, tries to correct it, goes back up into the bumper of Theodore, and I mean, at this point, she has to turn left to not the wall. Turns the 41 head on at a safer barrier, and that is going to be the end of the day for Chan. Certainly some question if there's going to be a penalty. Brian Manson got a time penalty after 2 incidents there, and I think, yeah, they're going to give Theodore a little bit of a leeway. It's the same deal there. So she's been given a warning for aggressive driving. I assume if another incident happens in that corner, she will probably get a time penalty. And we just got a report of more trouble. As a very similar incident, Roman Rahal goes wide, Krieger pushes wide, and it's very similar though. Actually, maybe a little worse, because Krieger did not get nearly as tight. Like there was a moment that we could have straightened out, and he got into the 79, and that takes Rahal in the wall. And that will take Rahal out of the race. He had a chance to score points. I think he actually was in the points, and that will take him out. That is just heartbreaking for Roman Rahal. And Race Controls agrees that was probably a little more egregious, and they've given Krieger a 10-second time penalty, though it probably won't mean much in the long run. It looks like Rara Smith's gonna try to move again. So we look back at the battle for the lead. These two have just been going at it. Smith trying everything to get back up there. He's been trying everything to get the lead. He's just not able to find a way past Tyler Faber. Oh! In the final chicane, they both go wide again. Smith just pushing too hard. Oh, the mistake out of Angel. Oh, they both made a mistake. Maverick teammates still fighting each other here. Hopefully they don't do what Krieger just did. And actually, we may see some battles here because it looks like Nelson's caught up to the 29 of Kyle Collins. Collins has faded a little bit in this late run. But Nelson's got a challenge from her fellow Californian, Charles Sanford. Sanford definitely looking to try and get a top 10 here. It's not been the start to the season he's wanted. Top 10 would be great for him. And we see the 41 to 17 still on track. They might actually catch him. Smith's made a mistake this lap. He's lost some ground on the 11. It's going to be 6 laps to go this time. Faber only has to hold on a little bit longer for his third career win. This could be his day. He's really proving the doubters wrong today of a fantastic performance. But can he seal the deal? I think a car might have just spun around. Saw more smoke. Oh, Krieger having more trouble. Man, this has been a nightmare day for that 17. Went from good to bad and then the worst. I assume what happened had to do with that. We'll take a look. Yeah, I think Ray Krieger's just wishing for this day to end at this point. Because you'll watch him here. He's about to come to the pits, and the car just spins around by itself. He kind of saw a little bit of a wiggle. The car unsettles, and it just spins out. And then you're going to watch here. The car just, it turns left there, and it just goes straight. Straight down into that wall. It's safe to say he's got some kind of steering malfunction on that 17, and yeah, it's just, what a nightmare day for Ray Krieger. I think he just wants it to end already. 6 laps to go now for Tyler Faber. Gap's starting to open up again. Could this be the day for him? Faber might be able to pull this one off. Meanwhile, Louvier's been catching Polyakov. That's not going to be for track positions. Of course, Louvier still has that time penalty. But he just needs to Louvier just needs to get as far up the order as he possibly can. And it looks like Phyllis Fedor's caught up. She's caught Nelson. It's like, what a great recovery drive for the 20. It's definitely been an incredibly impressive performance. Connor Atwood's made the move on Kirby, and Duncan for that matter. He's up to P8. Atwood definitely performing well. If Louvier doesn't get a top 10, Atwood probably will instead. Meanwhile, Faber's got another lap car to navigate. That's the 19 of William Brock. Let's see if anything happens there. Oh, Brock had to make the corner there. Luckily, no contact. That could have been dicey. Now they cross the stripe. It's going to be 5 laps to go this time. Gets by Brock without any issues now. See what Ryder Smith does. Is he going to treat him the same way he treated Argus Smith? Yeah, pretty much. No contact this time, but he dives it. He dive bombs, forces Brock to go on the runoff. So yeah, he's just being very impatient. And I mean, I can't really blame him. With the start to the year he's had, I think he's just hoping he can pull off a win here. That 84 is looking very slow. Jack Benton, Carver 84, I didn't realize he was running that high up the order. I think he was one of the guys that undercut earlier, but he looked really slow on a straightaway. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, Wood just went by. Yeah, there's something wrong with that car, and Benton's reporting it now. Yeah, I do believe that Jack Benton has lost a cylinder on car number 84. That's definitely a tough break. Oh, Krieger's still having those issues. He's had another issue there. Oh, yeah, Benton's free-falling through the field. I think that is going to cost him points. Definitely a tough break. Oh, Faber a little wider than Smith that time. Could this be the game changer? 4 laps to go. He's gonna try it there. He's looking a little bit of a half-hearted dive. He didn't fully commit to that move. Oh, Polyakov definitely committed to that one, though. Couldn't make it work. The battle for third is really starting to heat up. Louvier's catching him, but Nico Polyakov is right on the 14. He's going a little down. He's gonna try and make a move. Massive dive bomb out of the 48. They make contact. He shoves Angel out of the way. The Russian is done messing around. That was a dirty move, but it's gonna work. We'll see if Angel has anything to say about that. He sends it back in. Angel not gonna take too kindly to that maneuver. It's a very aggressive dive. And Angel will have the inside this next corner. And Louvier's just watching him. Louvier is literally, he is only like a few tenths behind Charles Sanford on time right now. He could hold on to a top 10, and he looks really fast. He's gonna try and get through both of these guys. Get whatever time he can. Oh, he's gonna play it very aggressively, very close to the 14. But he needs to get by these guys and get in the clean air as soon as possible. And the 40's been very fast. After pit stops, Louvier has been flying. They made some great adjustments. He could hold on to his top 10, despite the time penalty. You know, Tyler Faber just took 2 laps to go. He's hanging on. What a run. Polyakov is not giving up at all. Yeah, it's been a great battle. It's been a great battle for third. Kirby in trouble! Problems for Alyssa Kirby! You've got to be kidding me! At 99 team is finally having an amazing run, and something has broke with 2 laps to go. Kirby just cannot catch a break, and that is a huge problem for her. Absolutely heartbreaking. We just got word of something bigger. Ryder Smith, he's reported a vibration on the 18. Something is going on in that 18. That's been the most unreliable car on the grid this year. To say the least, he's had problems almost every race. Something might be coming apart, but we don't know. There's no full-on failure. It's just a vibration at the moment. But he's going to have to hold on for one more lap as he tries to make a challenge on Tyler Faber. Ray Krieger moves over. Not going to cause any problems there. And he's caught back up. This is going to be it. Faber goes wide in the chicane. Smith gets a bit of a better run. He has to hold on for one more lap. One more challenge. One more lap for Tyler Faber. He's got to defend another challenge from Ryder Smith. And this is the closest Smith has gotten. I think he's going to be able to make it. He's going below the white line. He's looking side by side. And in the first, coming in the road course for the final time. Big dive from Smith. Pushes Faber on the rumble strip. And Smith takes the lead. But Faber of the crossover. Can't get the traction. Smith has taken the lead on the final lap. Faber fought him best. He fought as hard as he could, but he's locked up. Something's going on in that car. The handling has gone away completely. The handling is completely faded on the 11. And Ryder Smith, the reigning series champion, looks like he may be shaking off his bad luck with a trip to victory lane. He might be able to make this one work. Heading on in the speedway for the final time. I think he's home free. Faber really fading. Nothing he can do from here. As long as that car holds together, that vibration doesn't look like it looks like it's gonna hold together for a chicane for the final time. It's gonna be Ryder Smith, the champion, back on top as he wins it here in Denver. Across the line, there you go. Ryder Smith, your winner of the Furniture Roval 200K. Outstanding drive. Polyakov wins the battle over Angel for third. Polyakov will be on the podium. Faber so close, but he's going to have to settle for second once again. So I have to give special mention to this. This was the battle for a final point spot. The alien Jack Benton trying to hold on as best as he could, but Rio Lucas, after getting spun earlier in the race, caught all the way back up, not only to the Mastersons, but to Benton, and he goes flying by him on the front straight. Lucas moving into P30, and yeah, after getting spun earlier in the race, Lucas makes a comeback drive, get that TRU car in the points, and he finished within 15 seconds of Ryan Manson, actually. So actually, this was 29th place. An absolutely fantastic drive by the driver of the 56, and I just wanted to give him special mention because, of course, it was for the final point spot, and it was a very impressive effort. And here comes Ryder Smith. Look at celebrate his win, and he's gonna do a slide through the grass. Perfect 360, keeps under control. I'd expect nothing less from a driver as skilled as him. Congratulations to Ryder Smith on the win. He's definitely got his momentum back on track this year. Tyler Faber, another heartbreak, another close loss, but he'll have to settle for second. Nico Polyakov, another podium. Sean Angel will definitely keep his points lead for fourth place. Ryan Acosta is going to come home with a top 5 finish. An outstanding performance for him. Eugene DeMax. How about Eugene DeMax? 6th place for a South Korean driver. Connor Atwood is going to finish in 7th. 8th is Matt Duncan. 9th, Phyllis Fedor. And Charles Sanford will make it 3 S3 Motorsports cars inside the top 10. Chris Louvier finished 5th on track, but his time penalty will drop him to 11th place. Then it's Kyle Collins in 12th, Allie Nelson from 28th to 13th, Tristan Wilhoit 14th, Finn Guy, despite his issues today, gets a top 15 and 15th, James Shelley 16th, Marcus Bruno 17th, Asherton Zonoff, a very impressive outing in 18th, just an all-around good day for TRU, Brandon Wood 19th, Nick Pericles around your top 20, and it is Aiden Shepard, Alan Cavagnaro, Madeline Adkins, Benoit Laferravine, Jason Perkle, Seiji Nakajima, Jason Evans, Mark Colbert, Rio Lucas, and Abdel Jabri round your points. Ryan Manson finished 26th, but his time penalty relegates him to 33rd. So, as we move on to the point standings, it is no surprise to see Sean Angel still having the point lead. His lead has expanded to 22 points, which is pretty crazy for being this early in the season. He's only finished outside the top 5 once, and that one finish was still in 11th. Angel might be tough to beat this year, as he has certainly come out swinging. Nico Polyakov, with his second top 5 of the year, moves up to P2 in the standings. Connor Atwood leads the way for Wrecking Balls in third, and Phyllis Fedor, part-time driver. I mean, she's attempted every race so far, and she's made them all, and she's certainly proved her worth as a talented driver, sitting 4th in the standings. Jeffrey Finguy, a little bit of a disappointing race, drops to a P5. He's still only 28 points back, and it's 55 back to Alan Cavagnaro. That top 5 is in a class of their own so far. Tyler Faber, of his second place finish, jumps up to 7th in the points, and it's Chris Louvier in 8th. Matt Duncan 9th. First 2 races didn't go well for him, but he's certainly finding his momentum now. And DJ Curtis with no points, with a no score, drops to 10th. Then we go to 11th. Ryder Smith, with his win, jumps up 20 positions to 11th in the standings. I would watch out if I were these guys, because it looks like that 18 team is getting their momentum going. A team that needs momentum right now, though, is RJ Manson Racing. Their top driver is only 12th in the points. Kyle Collins been a bit quiet so far. They'll be looking to find some speed as we continue in the season. Ray Krieger also needs momentum, as after 2 poor races, he's now dropped to 13th in the standings. Charles Sanford might be getting a good form going now as he moves up to 14th in the points. Tristan Wilhoit 15th for Audi. Nick Pericles 16th for a quiet start to the year. Allie Nelson back into the top 20 and 17th. Brandon Wood 18th, lagging behind his teammates a little bit. Maxwell Chan down to 19th. he loses 9 positions, and he has definitely struggled in the early part of this year. And so has James Shelley, who currently sits 20th. Both those two will be looking to turn their seasons around. That is all for this week. Be sure to stick around next week when we head to the Lone Star State. Everything's bigger in Texas, and I think that'll certainly be the case for the action as we race the San Antonio Remembrance Field for the Exxon 175.